Hi, I'm going to show a way how to generate random questions in Google Forms using Google Spreadsheet. In order to make it work, you will have to create a spreadsheet document, a form document, and you will have to write a script, plus including basic Excel functions. So first of all, let's start with the spreadsheet. Within the spreadsheet you will have to create two sheets. Let's say this one will be questions, this one will be bank. Let's make the titles answers, answer 1, no. I'm going to write random questions. Actually no, I forgot, this one will be generated automatically. Let's copy the titles and go to the questions. Okay, actually I have to write it here. And let's say let's make I'm adding some tag to just to recognize the difference between the answers. I'm just throwing random answers, doesn't matter. So right now we have to do two things. One, we have to generate each time a different question from the bank questions, and then we have to match the answers according to the question. So I prepared the formula in order to generate these questions. Oops. Just have to paste it here, and the range is 12, right? No, it's 10. Okay, so let's say we want the form to have only form questions all the time. The only thing that this formula doesn't contain is it doesn't check if this question was already generated. I mean, there are chances that this question will be generated in the next questions. You can change it, it's not a problem. Oops. Okay, now we need to generate the answers. So it's a simple VLOOKUP function. We need to search for this key within this range. I'm adding these dollar symbols to make it constant. If you in Microsoft Excel, you can just click F4 and it will do it automatically. I'm using it so when I will grab the formula down, it won't change the cells. Now we have to tell him which I mean the column number where we want to take the answer from, and let's make it false. Okay, so if I drag down, okay, you can see it's already taking the answers. What is your favorite color? Let's do it. Let's check if it's changing. Right. So let's do the same here, but we need to tell him it's until C within this third column. D A4. Right. So now you can see the questions are being generated almost automatically. The last thing you have to do so it will be completely automatically without writing any scripts. Just click here, spreadsheet settings, I think, yes, on change and every minute. So now this spreadsheet will be generated automatically every minute, and not only when you're doing changes. Let's give it a name, doesn't really matter at this point. Right, now we need a form. First of all, get rid of these. Actually, you can leave them, because if you want, you know what? Let's do the script test. You don't have to change the title. The script will do it for you. Test, quiz, whatever you want. This title will be generated automatically. Okay, so now we have to go to the script editor, and I have already prepared the script. I will scroll down, so whenever you want to copy it, you can pause the video and use it. This script has 3 functions. I found some of them I found over the internet, and I just remodify them. And the first function will be grabbing the details from the spreadsheet. The second one, this is, I mean, the script was meant to work automatically whenever you open the document. However, due to permissions issues, it cannot be done, so you have to execute the script manually. And this function will be deleting the items. Each of these functions, I mean, you have to work only with these 2 functions, because with these 2 functions, because the onOpen function is calling the getSpreadsheetData function. So you only have to run this script, this function, one time to grant permissions to your document. So what I'm going to do now is just copying these functions, add it here, save it, and questions generator. Right, now I'm using a debugger, a logger to just, I got used to see the code is being executed normally. So the first thing I'm going to do is running this function manually to okay, before we proceed to the script execution, you will have to grab the ID of the spreadsheet. This is the ID. Okay, you have to replace this ID and the sheet name where you're going to grab the questions from. In our case, this one is the target questions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to execute the first function, this one, manually. Back to safety, no. We want to grant the permissions, allow. I don't see it was generated. All right, it was. Okay. We don't see the logs yet, but at least we see it was executed without any error, because if there was an error, you would see it here under the status column. refresh the page, maybe I will see something. Okay, never mind at this point. Now we are going to execute this one. So this function does several things. The first one, it will always go to the active form. This means if you are going here, I mean, it actually doesn't matter because you will have you will get a permission error, but if you're going to this page and you click refresh, it's supposed to work on the active form. Here's the place where it will generate the title. So this title will be replaced with this one, and this one, it will be a description line here. The rest of the code, it will take the name of the question. By the way, this one you have to modify accordingly to the column names you created in this file. Okay, in my situation, questions is the name of the column where I wrote the questions, and answer 1, 2 and 3 are the columns for the answers. So if you, in your case, you're going to change it, for example, to I don't know, questions with the lowercase, or you know, questions or exam or quiz, whatever you want, you have to change it here within the code. So this is where it's going to take the questions. It's going to capitalize them. All these lines with the console, it's just an output here for the logger, so they are completely transparent for you. The next thing, it's going to create a question taking the name. In this case, I think I added a question mark to each question. Yes, I did. So I can remove this part of the code. It's going to create a question. It's going to add 4 choices. So if you have more than 4 choices, you have to add it here like this, right? But in my case, I have only 4 answers. Please note that here are the names of the columns we're going to take the answers, and it's irrelevant. Okay, so I'm going to execute this part just to show you how it works. Okay, did you see what happened now? It took the questions from the spreadsheet and it completely generated them here. So if I click now the preview, okay, what the last function does on submit is deleting all these items. So if I want to generate a new one, what is your favorite color? Do you like to play? Okay, I see that they already changed. So let's delete them. Okay, you have again a clean form. Now I'm going to generate them again. By the way, sometimes when you generate a question, it's like you cannot see it completely, but if you click on the preview, Okay, you see the items. So as you can see, the please describe and the answer is also taken from here. Okay, you can remove this part or you can add whatever you want. So this is it. I wanted to make a code that works completely independent and automatically. However, if you try to do it, you will face a permission issue. I tried to look for answers over the internet and I didn't find. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. So basically what's supposed to happen when I click on the refresh button, it's supposed to run the same script and regenerate the questions all the time. But it fails. Let me show you why. For some reason it doesn't show me the complete output. I don't know why it doesn't show the complete output, but anyway, you're supposed to see here a line which says that you do not have permissions to execute get spreadsheet data on open function. I saw some suggestions to add a menu to the form, or you can take the script and actually create an add-on, but I didn't try it and I'm not sure it's going to work. But at least this one is generating the questions. Let me do it last time. Perfect. Right. You have a perfect new form with the same ID. I mean, if you create a spreadsheet for answers, they will be saved in the same form, because the source of this code, it was actually generating a completely new form each time you were executing this script. So I think you could actually define the spreadsheet to be the same each time, but the link was changing when you were regenerating this form. So far, this is the best solution I found, but you are welcome to take it and modify and change. By the end, this code is not completely something I wrote by myself. I took it from different sources, modified it, and that's it. Good luck, guys.